Hello, everybody, and welcome to the fifth episode of a show about basketball. Today's episode, I'm joined by some random scrub from the MFFLS.com.
Get out of here, bro.
You can find him on Twitter at Reddit Mavericks. So Reddit Mavericks, how are you?
I'm good. We're recording early, but that's nothing, ain't nothing to what we usually do for the podcast. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing that y'all are able to get me up this early because usually that wouldn't be the case.
I know, dude. I think it's terrible because I think I always think that you'd be the worst at it, but it's really Bryce. Bryce stays up until like 5
I
and
used to
just
be
tweets random stuff, and I'm just like, guy, come on.
I used to be way worse, but especially the beginning of coronavirus and everything. Oh man, it was bad
Oh
for
yeah,
it was bad for about the first month and a half. I
oh
was
yeah,
I was up every
absolutely.
single night as late as I could possibly do because I was like, oh, the next day I have nothing to do. But
Oh,
anyway,
sorry, that was a Slack notification I heard
yes, I need to mute my phone.
saying basketball's back.
Yeah,
The calendar,
that's funny.
the calendar says basketball's back.
I was like, who is this? We're the only people on the MFFLs awake right now. Who could possibly be doing this? And it was a bot.
Yeah, it was a
One
bot.
of the other
Like an
two.
actual bot, not me. Like an actual bot.
So yesterday we had some legit basketball, some real NBA basketball to watch, and off the bat in both games, or at least the first game not as much, but the second game, was it me or was it the longest game of all time? The Lakers
That
Clippers.
first game?
No, the
Oh, the
Lakers
second game? Oh, the
Clippers.
second dude.
It
I
was the
hope
longest
it was.
first quarter ever. I think
Yeah,
Nick Van Exit tweeted that there was 21 foul calls.
yeah, dude.
I
Yeah,
think
Nick
it
Van
was.
Exel just tweet that there were like a crap ton of calls, and I'm just like, it's a lot, and I hope it's not our Western Conference Finals preview because God, I hate it.
Well, I hope
So
that's just not a Super 8 preview for any team. Like if they're gonna call every single thing like that,
yeah,
it's
it's
gonna be
gonna
no
be
fun.
annoying. It's
But
gonna be annoying, but
the first game, Pelicans Jazz. The Jazz started off looking firing off on all cylinders. But it was quickly tarnished because I think the Pelicans went on a 22-6 run as soon as Rudy Gobert got taken off the court and the rest of the Jazz bench got put on the court. The Jazz bench combined 27 points, and you know who the Jazz bench's leading scorer was?
who was it? Let me
It
see.
was
I have the stats up,
Oh,
but
I'll tell you, it was Jordan Clarkson, but he had 23 points.
oh, he did. That's right.
23 of the 27 points were all by Jordan Clarkson. Very
I
valuable
remember
points because it was Jordan Clarkson versus Brandon Ingram basically all night.
which, yeah, two ex Lakers
Yeah,
going at it.
yeah. I forgot Jordan Clarkson was on the Lakers because he was okay on the Lakers, but he's actually really found a nice little home in Utah. They've
It's,
utilized him correctly all year.
yeah, man, it's crazy because I totally forgot that he was on this team. And I saw him and I was like, oh, that's Jordan Clarkson. Okay, like, this is
Um,
what
I,
we're doing.
I didn't think the Jazz really had a chance in this game, but well, I said the only way they would is if Mike Conley came out and stepped up and played like Mike Conley, and he scored the
Yeah,
team's first 5 points. I think I know he hit the team's first three. Um, but yeah, I mean, like I said, all I noticed was the Pelicans are way deeper than I think people think. Um,
yeah, dude.
and
Yeah.
and Brandon Ingram is an absolute monster. But what else did you see from that game?
Well, I'm seeing how many guys played for the
Yeah,
Pelicans versus how many guys played for the Jazz. The Jazz only had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Having more bodies helps out a crap ton.
definitely.
Like if guys are getting tired, like you can pretty easily like switch guys out and stuff like that. So having two extra guys is a big plus. What else did I see? Lonzo.
Oh
I
man.
want him. I want him to succeed so bad
Yeah,
because of because of all the media stuff and just like stuff with his dad. But when you shoot 2 for 13, it's really hard to defend that.
it is.
you know. Who else did I see that was pretty good? I mean, Zion went 6 for 8. Had
Yeah,
13
no.
points in 15 minutes, man. Like,
It seems like every time he just throws the ball and it touches the rim, it's going to bounce in somehow. He's got like
yeah,
some I don't know what it is, but he's got some ability to just make it happen.
yeah,
Um,
man. And then obviously like Brandon Ingram, basically KD, like KD Jr.
yeah.
out there. Like didn't have the best shooting night, obviously, but just like the way he was able to contort his body and just like get to the rim or just like, evade defender was really good to see. So
And I mean, the way he just takes over games. No one else in this game had the ability to just like take the ball up and score at will. And Ingram was doing it all night. He was doing it all year, except the fourth quarter. Um,
yeah, that's one.
the only other thing I noticed off either team's bench, I mean, besides Reddick played outstanding, and Josh Hart had a pretty good game. But the only other person on the Jazz to score off the bench, Tony Bradley actually looked fantastic. He had 3 offensive rebounds, and had a couple points. But I mean, they were easy buckets. But I feel like he's a
Yeah.
guy who's going to have a really good bubble just because of the opportunity he's given. I mean, so Clarkson got 32 minutes off the Jazz bench yesterday, but everyone else on the Jazz bench combined only, oh no, math, 37 minutes. So,
Yeah, I see that right now. Wait, yeah.
but I mean,
I forgot they have Moutier too. What the hell?
the next game, the Battle of LA, aka the longest game in NBA history.
That game was ridiculous, dude. It just, I mean, it was a good game though. Just like going back and forth and lead changes and like runs of like 10 points, 12 points, and then going down to the wire the way it did. And it was just overall, it was a fun game to watch. Like just as like a person who doesn't have, well, I mean, we as a Mavs fan, I do have a little bit of like, I want this team to win because if the Clippers lose, like maybe that helps our chances or whatever. Um, that game was fun.
It was
That game was
fun.
real fun.
It was fun, and I like how I wish they were able to play more and not let the refs call so many whistles because this game kind of doesn't really mean anything for either team. I don't think the Clippers are leaving second. I don't think the Lakers. I mean, they can't leave first. Um,
Yeah.
but right off the bat, Paul George. I mean, he shot lights out, and I hope we get that Paul George in this bubble as opposed to the Paul George we got. Well, didn't get last playoffs.
Like,
Um,
but yeah.
Reggie Jackson looked awful. I don't know. I
Yes,
know
he
I know
did.
they were weak, but he did not look good. And Zubac had nice little stretches. He probably had the best 2 point game I've ever seen. Um, oh, and we got a meme from
From
the game.
who?
The the last second when so the game ended.
Oh yes.
The game
Where it's
ended
like
on
it's like Kawhi like
yeah.
off to the corner or whatever, and
Kawhi Kawhi had LeBron right in front of him, and he was waiting to hand off to Paul George. I guess Paul George read the play wrong or ran the play wrong, and Kawhi's just like mean mugging Paul George while LeBron's standing right in front of him with like statue pose. Like, yeah, he's like, I'm not moving, I'm right here.
yeah,
Um,
it's oh man.
but yeah, I mean, it just goes to show you how I think yesterday's game pretty much solidifies that small ball probably doesn't have a place, in the league anymore as long as Anthony Davis and LeBron James are on the same team. Especially
Yeah,
when
those
Anthony
guys are pretty
Davis,
tall.
yeah, especially when Anthony Davis is just playing the way he did yesterday.
16 for 17 from the line. So if you follow him, it's like it's like might as
Yeah,
well just be points to him. Shooting 42% from the field. That's pretty fucking. That's actually
that's
really
a
good.
that's a
You
terrible
know.
Anthony Davis game though. I mean, he
Yeah,
averages
but I mean, like,
51.
if you're just like a regular dude, you're like, oh yeah,
Yeah, that's a
that's a
it's
good
a
game.
crazy game.
Like, a great game, man. I just like it's funny though because like I was looking at like who's on these rosters and I forgot Reggie Jackson was a player. I forgot that Patrick Passion was a player. I've never heard of Amir Coffey, but I know Mavs Draft has and
Hmm.
like loves him. So, and if Mavs Draft loves the guy, I'm like, okay, more likely it's gonna be a pretty good player. Um, the fact I forgot that the Lakers had Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith on the same team, which is hilarious
Why is
for
that
whatever
hilarious?
just because like
Henny and Gummy
just like
Bears.
just like those two guys eating gummy bears or whatever, just like just those two guys like being who they are together, like in the bubble even. It's like
Yeah,
like
and
I wish
and
I
Dwight Howard to like top it all off.
and then how
Yeah,
JaVale
and
McGee
JaVale
even,
McGee.
they have a lot of characters on that team.
Imagine
Just a lot
if
of
Lance Stevenson were still there.
even Markeith Morris, man. Like
Oh
just
yeah,
like
Justin Anderson's best friend.
apparently. But I mean
Uh,
overall, man, that was a real fun game. Like I was it was hype following on Twitter. I was hype like tweeting about it and just like kind of seeing like what was going on and just hear like, oh, like fuck the Lakers or fuck the Clippers. Like I think Mavs fans in general just didn't have an idea yet of like who they wanted to win, who they wanted to lose. Because again, for these two teams, like it's not a big deal, but for us, you know, it's a major deal if like if the Clippers lose because we don't want to face them. You
Nope.
know,
No.
especially after this game, bro. Like
Yeah.
if we see Paul George do what he's doing, if we see Kawhi
Oh
Leonard
God.
guarding the way he's guarding most of the time, you know, it's gonna be bad for us.
I
So
mean, and that was a Clippers team without their best two bench players. That
that's
still
true.
had
Yeah,
a
it's true.
great run on a couple great runs on the bench.
Yeah, they're missing who? They're missing Trez and Lou Will, right?
Yep, I thought they were supposed to miss Beverly, but I guess he played last
Uh,
night, so I
yeah,
don't
I
know
don't
about
know.
all that. So yeah, the big game today. You know the big game today, right?
Yeah, guess what day it is, guys?
It's
Like,
Jaren Jackson game day. That's what it is.
get the fuck out of here.
The Grizzlies play the Blazers at 3 on NBA TV.
Actually, we'll watch that probably, but
But since you are Reddit Mavericks and we are the MFFLs, I guess we got to talk a little bit about the big the what's the so like a matinee is like a beginning like day afternoon show. What is like the 8 o'clock show? Prime time?
like, yeah, it's prime time.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's a
well
prime time
we're
game
prime time 8 o'clock tonight. So we're gonna be watching the Mavs game for about 3.5 hours if it's anything like the Lakers game yesterday.
between Luca and Harden. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's,
it's gonna be Foul City tonight. But
oh god.
what do you think is gonna happen tonight?
I think we win, man. You know,
Yeah,
I feel like they have no one to really defend KP the way they want to defend most players. So if KP gets hot, bro, like that's it's might be
yeah,
game over for them. So like I automatically, I'm really looking forward to kind of seeing because again, I don't think the guys are going as hard as they want to for the most part, like in these scrimmages. So it's going to be good to see like them actually go hard and be like, okay, like this is a game that matters, and I want to kill the other kill the other
yeah,
team.
yeah.
So think this. I'm just excited to see basketball again, like the
Yes,
memes
the
and just
memes.
like
There's
the
gonna be
memes,
there's
like
gonna be
all
nice memes.
the the content that will be coming out, like that aren't bubble, like oh like Luca caught a fish. so
There's gonna
I'm just
be
like yeah
there's gonna be Westbrook memes where he's making a face. There's gonna be a Harden meme where he makes a face. There's definitely gonna be a Luca meme where he's laughing or where he's
more animated, just
yeah,
happy
yeah.
like
I think we end up winning tonight, man. We just really have to. Obviously, we have to contain Harden, and we have to try our
yeah
best to stop Westbrook from driving in on us because
getting into the
we have
basket yeah.
one guy that can rim protect or two guys that can rim protect. So it's I mean, gotta be. He might have a field day at times when Maxi and Porzingis are off the floor. I'm really interested to see
Yeah,
if Bobby even gets any play tonight. I mean, yeah, he is kind of unstoppable when you put him on the floor,
offensively he's
but
unstoppable, but
like we don't play. Not a lot of teams play at the pace that the Rockets do, and like that is the one thing that kills Bobby like every time. I just don't think
yeah.
he'll be able to compete with the best center in the league, aka Russell Westbrook.
I just think that he needs, as much as I love Bobby, like I know he's gonna have to like they're gonna have to like pick and choose like where they insert him in. If God forbid, Maxi or KP get in foul trouble, he's probably gonna have to play,
Yeah,
a little bit. But I'm hoping that's not the case. I hope that one game where the one scrimmage where KP got 5 fouls is like a fluke, and he won't be in that much trouble this game. Yeah, Bobby's kind of like I love him, but and everybody knows that I love him. Like I
I think
won't.
everybody loves him, but I mean, if you think he's just the all
Yeah,
around perfect guy you can just throw in at any time, then I mean,
yeah,
you
no,
don't.
he's not.
Yeah, you're not. He can't. You can't put him against a team like the Rockets. You can put him against a team like Phoenix, who's a little bigger, or
Yeah,
Sacramento. Our upcoming games.
or just like guys who have maybe like more traditional centers and stuff
Yeah,
like
or
that.
just teams
Like
that aren't as quick. Like the
yeah,
Rockets literally play Mike D'Antoni 5 out,
the 7.
no center offense. Like that's the
It's
worst
like
thing for Bobby.
it's like 7 seconds or less, but like
Hmm.
on steroids because it's Harden and Russell Westbrook. So
Yeah, and three other shooting guards.
exactly. You know, one playing center basically.
Um,
So,
they are missing Eric Gordon, and I
yeah, Eric Gordon, yeah.
believe the rumors have it as Jeff Green getting the start, so that might play a little bit into our advantage. Yeah, so as long as we can stop, as long as we have Maxi switch defending on Westbrook and kind of keeping his eyes on Westbrook, and Dorian keeping his eyes on Harden. Obviously, you're going to see a lot of Harden on Tim and Harden on Dorian, and then you're going to see a lot of Maxi rim protecting and Maxi guarding Westbrook, which I think is probably the most effective way to guard them. And then you have KP, you know, manning it down low the whole game because he can't. I mean, he can't switch defense, so he'll probably be on. He'll probably be on PJ Tucker most of the night. But yeah, you have anything else? Anything else before we start our first Super 8 game and
Uh,
start our 2020 championship run?
I mean, you know, go Mavs. This is gonna be a whirlwind because games are super gonna be in and out, you know, for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
So there's gonna be a lot of content, and then you know, obviously the playoffs start at the like toward like the middle of this month actually, or the middle of August.
August 17th, I
So,
believe.
yeah, so almost exactly the middle. So you know, it's gonna be a it's gonna be a whirlwind. We're really excited to kind of see what happens with our team, and I think we could go pretty far in the playoffs if things break right. So
Yeah, I mean, depending on what the Jazz do and depending on how the Jazz actually look, like the Pelicans are a tough task. So we'll
yeah,
see
they
what
are.
happens when they play like the Jazz play like a real tough team.
Yeah,
Depending on what they do, I mean, we could. I've been saying for since we since we got told we were playing basketball again. I've been saying that we could move up to fifth. We could move up to fourth. It's possible.
yeah.
Um, I mean, if the Jazz keep playing like that, then it might not be as likely. But I mean, Donovan Mitchell didn't look that great, so well, it is what it
Nah.
is. We'll see. But anyways, thanks for coming on. Of course, I'll see you on Sunday on the Hoops and Hefeweizens podcast,
Yeah,
where we talk every single week
yeah. Every single
about
week,
real important issues and real important basketball games.
and a myriad of questions every damn
Yes,
week. So
yes. And yeah, so speaking of questions, shout out to Mavs Network, biggest Hassan Whiteside fan on Mavs Twitter. We appreciate your questions every week, and that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you.